Howdy ho, people. T-Biz again, and yeah, we're gonna go ahead and check out this supersized figures from Spawn Angela figure, McFarlane Toys, back 1996. Spawn Ultra Action figures. Bought it for about $32 from Austin Books last week, and went on that mini adventure. So let's go ahead and unbox her and check it out. From America's best-selling comic books at the time, for sure. But yeah, a lot of good waves back then. A lot of good figures that I wouldn't mind finding. It'd be cool to have the Max. That was a good figure. I think I have the Shadowhawk somewhere, I believe. I'm not sure if I still have it. I got it through a trade through a friend. And the one Spawn I'm not seeing in here is, I'm not sure. Total Chaos was a good line. Wetworks figures were interesting, but a lot of those broke pretty easily. I think I have the Blood Queen still. I'm not sure. I might have gotten rid of that figure. Can't remember. But yeah, the Total Chaos line was great. These were kind of hard and rare to find. And I think it was at Wildstorm. That was her name? I thought she was Widowmaker or something like that. Wildstorm. Weird. I don't remember that unless that was a different version. But oh well. And they had other jumbo figures too. They had a medieval Spawn, which looks pretty rad. Violator, and this hefty Spawn right here, and up top, tippy top, well, it's out of camera, is or off camera, is Angela. So let's go ahead and check her out. This figure's not bad though. She is a huge figure, as you can see. Really ginormous figure. Sculpt's awesome, very comic booky, very cartoony. Her articulation's a little limited right here. I mean, you can bend this elbow, but her other arm, it's really stiff, so I don't want to force it. Tried a blow dryer, but didn't seem to work that well. I had to reattach her belt with the peg, I believe, right over here. Pegs in. And then I had to reattach this one loop right here to her sheath. And it's funny because you can tell she's actually wearing drawers. She's got white panties on, which is kind of funny. And because I think there was a issue with the original Angela where it doesn't look like she has any underwear. But yeah, she's got a small dagger right here, sculpted in. I believe that is all one piece, it looks like. And she's got her little Spawn earrings. And there's some paint schmutz like right there and around where the belt and the sheath were hitting and stuff. But other than that, she's really cool. It's basically the Angela, I believe, from her first comic book appearance. And it is a hefty figure. It's not bad. The sculpting's really cool. Her bra piece is ornate. Looks kind of reminiscent to Slave Leia from Return of the Jedi. She comes with this ridiculous spear thing that doesn't seem very pliable. Seems pretty... I'm not sure if this thing had been sitting in somebody's garage for a long time, but I guess it's got a missile launching type thing going, so... Yep, wow, and it shoots. That's crazy. Let me see. But yeah, that goes pretty far. It's not bad. That's a pretty cool little gimmick. And I believe you can just raise her arm up, and it's just supposed to, I guess, lay or something in her hand somewhat or something. I don't know. I don't think she's able to hold it very well, but it's just supposed to kind of sit there or something. But yeah, that's crazy. She has her sword, which is kind of warped a little bit, but not bad. But you could stuff that right in her sheath. Whoop. Yeah. The other review I saw, this thing just flops right out. So yeah, that is crazy. And I love the base that this thing comes with. Kind of like this ice base. I think this thing would go really great with like Battle Tribes, Warlords of War. And the spaced out design figures too. With those ice versions of the Geodraxis figures would be really great for this thing. But yeah, this is almost one of the main reasons I got this figure after seeing a review of it. I was like, man, it's kind of worthy for that base. That like would go totally well with some dioramas and stuff. But yeah, that is pretty cool. And once again, this spear thing, staff, is huge. It's almost comical, pretty much. But all in all, not a bad piece. It's just, yeah, she's just not going to hold this thing very well, obviously. But all in all, it is a cool figure. And her hand is really stiff. As far as getting this sword in her hand, it's very, very stiff. And you can see, too, there's really nice detail on this arm guard type thing. I guess it's supposed to be like chainmail, reminiscent of chainmail, but yeah, that is pretty cool. It's not bad. I thought this is funny, too, that they have a dagger that's attached, but it doesn't have the little garter straps going over the blade. It's just kind of sitting in front. And then maybe another little mini dagger or something on her knee pad. And then once again, the fancy Rob Liefeld, Todd McFarlane-esque boots, which we all get from Spawn. But yeah, we're due to, again, the whole size comparison with the Mortal Kombat Spawn. She pretty much dwarfs him. And then this Spawn, I forget which number this one was, but this was a cool one of my favorite Spawns that I've had and never gotten rid of throughout the years. I think this Spawn came out in a series later. But yeah, very cool Spawn. His gimmick doesn't work anymore. You could raise his arm up and his eyes would glow green, but yeah, that doesn't work anymore. And this thing, you could lock these in and then it would just flap out. But yeah, these wings, or his cape, actually not the wings, but his cape. It's a living cape. But yeah, it's pretty wicked. I had to get this thing for sure. I had some ideas for it, for what I wanted to do, and I think it'll work pretty well. She makes a great giant as far as for other like toys and figures go. I really think for as far as like battle tribes and stuff like that goes. And yeah, she dwarfs a lot of figures. And I don't know, I'm gonna have some fun with her at some point. And yeah, it'll be pretty wicked to see what I can pull off at some point too, which would be cool. And I might have to do that. Might have to do like a Back to the Future type thing. And maybe this review will be after another review. I don't know. We'll see how it works out. But yeah, let's look at our jumbo-sized Ultra Action figure of Angela. Very weird. Very cool. Very, very, very cool. Very, very weird. Very, very funny at the same time. I like the way that she looks. It's very animated, very comic booky, but at the same time, yep, can't knock down Spawn with that. But it works. I'm glad this gimmick still works. The spring still works. But another thing I wanted to point out, too, is I love her hair sculpt. It's a really, really good hair sculpt. I like that. It's old school. For 1996, which was the year I graduated high school, there's a little bit painful right there. But I graduated high school in 1995, but 1996 was still hanging out, enjoying myself a lot, hanging out with my good buddy Dan, and we'd go hunt for Spawn figures. We got back into it around that same time because he'd taken a break from college or dropped out, I guess, and we would go hunt Spawn figures all the time back then. We would go to at least 2 or 3 different Toys R Us's back then, at least 2, whichever ones we could find. We would just search all over the place, search grocery stores even if we could back then, and just find Spawn figures because they're kind of hard to find back then. It was kind of rare and hit or miss, but we would just kind of have to run the store together, and I'd get a figure, he'd get a figure. Sometimes we couldn't get doubles of anything back then, so it would just be like kind of like a draw or whatever, you know. We just had to beat each other to the figure, you know, and that's how it was. But yeah, that's a look at her, look at Angela. Not one of the most intense reviews, I would say, that I've performed as far as reviewing figures, but I felt like this figure was necessary to purchase. I like her. I like the fact that she's a giant. And I don't know. I like having certain figures and things that kind of are out of scale because I think it'd be cool to have. I don't know. I like the fact that maybe giants existed in our past, you know, Earth, universe, whatever you want to call it. And if so, I'd like to portray that with my action figures. I think that would be neat. Be very, very neat. Once again, thanks for everybody for watching. And yeah, this figure's going to pop back up, I guess, in another review at some point. So that'll be really cool. And hopefully more new reviews on the way soon. It's been kind of a dry week, but hey, that's how it goes sometimes. But had to have this figure. Thought she was neat. Thought we could have some fun with her, and we will. And I will prove it later. And thanks for watching, y'all, and have a good one. All right, later. Oh, and before we're out, I almost forgot we needed to see how she fits in the stand. I don't know how I can forget that. Oh, she fits very well in that stand, so that's good. But you know what? I also just figured out what works. And good thing. Don't have the highest IQ, but maybe not the lowest. I don't know. We'll see. And yeah, that's how that works. So that's great. There's a little hole right there. You can barely see it, but right over there. And yeah, it just, the tip of that part of the spear just sits right there. So gingerly. But yeah, it works really great. It makes for a great display piece, really. I mean, if you weren't going to play with her, then you could just, I don't know. She makes an awesome display piece. I like it. Really, really cool. Really, really rad. Once again, thanks for watching, y'all. And yeah, more stuff definitely on the way. Take care.